my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. It is Block Wednesday. We're on Block 7. Before we do that, I have got this on the wall. It is that plot twist that I found, that super cute Christmas fabric I wanted to do, and I thought this was a super fun pattern, and I love doing it. It's a little bit of mind bending, but it's not hard. It's just you need to keep everything sort of going the right direction for it to come out to look like this, which is where the mind bending comes in. Is so clever. So I have a couple clips here just as I was getting that finished so that I could take it off the wall and put up our Block Wednesday. In order to put the Block Wednesday stuff up, I need to get probably at least this row here sewn. This is sewn in horizontal rows like this. So if I can get this one and maybe the next one, because they're long, and who knows, maybe I'll do all three to sew the rows and then stack them. Let me just see how long these sections are going, because I do want to film the rest of this today. And so I got part of it filmed. Okay, let's go. Well, just before I sew it all together, because I think I'm going to do that, I just wanted to show you how it's split apart. So here is a row. See the horizontal, you're sewing horizontal rows, and then that square gets just put on the end, because this is actually trimmed off. I mean, you could approach the design a different way. You could approach it with half square triangles in there, but I'm going to go like the plot twist is originally done, because I kind of like that look. And I'll just sew those extras up and maybe do a strip on the backing. But yeah, so I still have, where, this one, yeah. So I have to sew all of that up there together. And here it is sewn. Ah, so fun. That format, it's a little mind twisty. I mean, it's not a hard sew at all, but you got to get everything in the right order and then lay it out in the right order. There will be trimming, so it'll be coming along like that. So it'll be straight edges along all the sides. We'll get rid of that. Yeah, so cool. Over the next day or so, one of these days, in the coming days, I will trim it and I'll film kind of how I'm going to approach that, and then that'll probably be it. I'll probably just, yeah, I won't put anything else around it, because I want to hang it in a specific place, which I think will be a perfect size. And I did the crib. There are, what is that, 5 sizes in this pattern. It's such a great pattern. All right, so our Block Wednesday, before I switch everything out, it is called, Block 7 is called Interesting Things. Here is here's the block. So it kind of looks like a piece of candy with a nod to the Halloween season that we're in. And then I just did a repeat, which is a good size quilt at 60 by 72. How many blocks? 15 blocks and 15 squares. So that is a pretty fast sew if you're looking for something fun. It could be using just some scraps up to, and maybe a lot of lights that you have. So somebody sew that up for us. Let's see what that looks like. So interesting things at every park. You know, not every park, of course, but there are lots and lots of parks. There are so many fun things. So I wrote a few on here. I'll just tell you, like the Dry Tortugas off the coast. It's 70 miles. This park is 70 miles off the coast of Key West in southern Florida. And it is one of the most remote and least visited national parks. Is on my list. We were in Key West 2 or 3 times now. We did not get out there. I think you have to take a boat ride or a plane ride. That's how you get there. You know, you can't walk or drive. And then there's like out at Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado, there are 5,000 archaeological digs. Just so many interesting things. So I've written a few of them here. But what I want to tell you about is also a fun read that I was told about years ago by my friend who goes to a lot of the national parks out west. So let me put a cover of the book up. The book is called Dear Bob and Sue. There's actually 3 of them now, and the authors are Matt and Karen Smith. And what they decided to do is, a lot of people do this. You remember when we talked about the national park system has like, what about 400 or something parks, but there's a core group of them like that have the word park in them. Many of those are out west, but people like to visit that core group, and that's what they were doing. At the time that they wrote this book, there were 59 of that core group with the word park in them. There are now 63 of those. Those numbers may not be 100% right, but it's best I could find. So what a lot of people do is they make it a goal to just go see those particular parks that have the word park in them. It's very confusing, but the book is a journal. It's not a travel guide, but you will learn things about the park. What it is this their personal journal, and it's called Dear Bob and Sue because they wrote the journal as if they were writing to their friends Bob and Sue, like a little email or a note to tell them about their adventure to get to the park and how they approached doing all of those parks in the amount of time they had allotted, what they experienced there, quirky things, funny things, maybe a little sarcastic. It's just very humorous. It's a humor book. You will learn about the parks as well, but you also, hear about different things that they personally do and observations they have along the way. So it is, I thought it was a fun read. And I don't read it all the way through. I actually have not finished it, but I pick it up every so often and read several of their stories, journeys, and then, I'll put it down for a while. So anyways, you might find that interesting if you're looking for something a little different to read. I'm going to go and put the blocks up, and I have one clip already, then I'll run that as well right after this to show you the colors of my Gratitude and Grace so that you can see that as I'm, watch that first before I pick my fabrics for this block. Here they are together right now, both sets. These, I don't have the little sashing units yet, and it's not as important because this is really just all blue, 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 different shades of blue for much, and a little bit of green. So I'll maybe do that next week. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at some options. So I have a few options here. As we go along, it becomes less and less options to some extent, particularly for this package, because they were fat eighths and there's not quite as much room or quite as much fabric left on each one. But of course, Gratitude and Grace, I have all the fabric I need. So I wanted to add in some more green in this block, and another block the last two needs to have the peach orange in it. So I was thinking I could go either these two, the pinwheel and the half square triangles, with either these two, which is kind of this greeny, blue, or these two, like this. I think I'm going to go with this one, with that lace. See the piece? It looks like lace. Yeah, and then my background. So I'm going to do that. And then here I decided I had to go through and see what did I have that had enough of the fabric. Remember, they're fat eighths, so there's half of a fat quarter. And I have enough of this one to do the light. So there I want to do a dark. So I started with this one, with a dark, and I thought here, and that's just not enough contrast, even though separately like this, they look like, oh yeah, you can see the difference. But if I was going to make a block, that would be like Mush City. So I could do like that. So it's a lot more. That doesn't excite me though. I just feel like that medium blue is not the right blue. I need the light blue. So there we got the light blue. But now these two are the exact same print, and that bugs me. And so my navies, I don't have as much navy left in big enough pieces, so I think this will be it, because that's a big enough piece and it gives a navy, it gives a contrast, and it's cute. So I'm going to sew those two up. First up, Gratitude and Grace with that green and the deep turquoise, or deep teal. Deep teal, I think, is more what it is. Look at that. So I've got a good green. So I've got 3 good greens now. Whoops, let me move it. There we go. So yeah, next week I will do orange, and then I think that's what I'll do, that orange peach. And then here's the shoreline, blue, blue, blue. You can't go wrong with blue, can you? They all look good. So I'm going to put these up on the wall, and then we're going to segue right into something super fun that I got here in my studio, and I want to tell you all about it. Let's go. Here you go with the Gratitude and Grace. And what I did is I shifted around so the greens and the peaches are one in each row. So you can see next week that I will probably have shift whatever block I do will be the bottom for the peach, and the middle will be mostly a blue or teal blues, and that'll just balance the colors out. And then here is blue, blue, everything. Well, now my hand's in the way. There we go. Blue, blue, everything blue. And I need to do some sashings. So now let's go to the fun stuff. So I decided I needed a new office assistant, something I use all the time here in the studio that needed a major upgrade. And I looked around and I thought about it a long time, a really long time. And what I finally got was, let's look, a gaming chair. I have a new chair that is made for gamers, but it is not just for gamers. It is for people like you and me who make things and sit a lot. Let's take a look. Let's take a little closer look. And what I want to do is just first sit here and tell you a little bit about why I decided a gaming chair was going to be my option. They are bigger than your regular office chairs. You can see it has a lot of height to it. The seat itself is much wider, which I can tell you I am enjoying so much. This one is super, super sturdy. But why did I go with the gaming chair? What I was doing was thinking about, it is so hard to find a good chair. I mean, you can order one, which you'll have to do with these. But I was looking around to like who was using chairs that looked super comfortable, because if I'm sitting and sewing a long time, let's say I'm sewing on the Duchess, my featherweight over here, or I'm sitting at my computer either doing gaming, which I do actually do a little bit and for fun, or just working on other designs or just doing Facebook or whatever. I thought, who is using chairs that they're sitting in all the time? Gamers. Gamers are using those chairs. I was watching live streamers and people's videos, and I was like, they have got these incredible chairs. So what happened was, let me just show you, I decided to look around at who was making, and who was I watching that I enjoyed and saw what they were sitting in, and the seat chairs came up a lot. So I decided to kind of contact them, contact them and ask them a little bit about their chair. And we decided that, why don't I try it and then tell you guys about it if I like it. And like I said, I've had it a month. It is so, so cool. I'll just give you a few of the features here, and then we're going to also look at their website, because that's where you're going to get, more information. But this piece right here is a lumbar piece, and it actually will go in and out against your back. I mean, like, how incredible is that for us makers? Sitting at your sewing machine, you can adjust this. There are an incredible amount of adjustments. These arms here have so many places that you can put them. So you can pull them forward, you can pull them back, you can pull them out, you can pull them in, way in if you want to. They also have these little lifts, so you can go way up, you can go halfway. My left hand doesn't work that well, so I need two hands. So there we go. So look at this. Look at this. So if you are working, let's say you're maybe cross stitching or you're hand sewing, you can sit in this to support your arms, which is super, super important, not just in gaming, but in making, particularly when we're doing handwork. And that's what super attracted me to this. Not all the companies have all these adjustments. The adjustments go up, down, the entire back, goes back, forward. It does an incredible amount of things. And it is so comfortable. I was concerned about getting a chair that the seat would get kind of squishy right away or flatten down. And the seat is super firm. It's comfortable, but it's thick. It's not going to go flat on you in a year when you're, I've been sitting on it every day. I sit on it every single day. For hours, I can be sitting in a chair. So this is what I got. Now I'm going to go on the computer here so that you can see the features and watch. You can go, you'll know where to go then to look at this, because I actually have the Kaiser 4. And so anyways, let's go look. And here's my chair, the Andaseat Kaiser 4, the most bells and whistles. So they come in a large, extra large, a ton of colors. They come in the PVC leather, which is pleather. You know, we makers know it as that term, old term for it. And there's, I'll tell you a little bit about it, but it is quite high quality. They also have a linen, and I've always had cloth seats, so I decided to go with the linen in the ash gray since it's light for my room, and it also comes in black. So all the pleather colors, let me show you. Ta-da! Look at this. I tell you, friends, I thought hard about a pink or a white or a teal. Oh my goodness. But I ended up, here's my linen, but these look amazing. So if you prefer a super cute color, there you go. When you scroll down on their website, there's tons of features. Here it's showing you the lumbar support, which is so good. It is so good for us makers to be able to adjust that for how we feel. And then you can change it depending on what you're doing, you know, whether you're sitting far back or whatever. It is so cool. Now here they go. They're stain resistant, you know, sustainable leather, pleather. It's easy to wipe, resist abrasion and color fading. It is formulated with really strict health and safety standards at the level of baby products. Wow. So I'm sure that that is quite a good option. There's your armrests that come in all of these ways that you can adjust them. That's what really attracted me to this chair when we talked about what I would want, is how adjustable it is. I want all the adjustments, my friends. I want it all. There's the chair which can go back and forth, rocks. It has actually got a rocking mode, which Mr. Greg has tried out and gave it his seal of approval. The head pillow, which is magnetic, so you can use it or not use it. And then down here, you can get all the support documents. So if you want to take a look, it's pretty easy to put together. It's heavy, so depending on you yourself, you might want a buddy to help you put it together. And then there are other chair comparisons. But I want to also show you they have a YouTube channel where you can go and watch some of the parts, you know, being put together. There's just, you know, you're basically putting the arms on the chair, and then you can see the base of the chair. You're putting that together. This guy's video I just loved. I just loved it because he's like, he says he's a big guy, and he talks about it. So I just think it is such a great chair for us as a maker, people who sit a lot. You know, just look at this, look at these options, and then you get the color of your choice. This is how it looks here in my computer corner. As you know, my room is really small. My space is small, so I'm right up against the window, and my computer station is here, which I also have a second monitor now. That's like all the better to use my new Andaseat in. And this is how it sits here. So what I do is go over and show you how I sit at the lower table with the sewing machine. So back over here at the regular table, so that's a regular height table, unlike my large machine sits on a table that's at counter height because I cut on the back side. So this is the regular table height. And the chair will fit perfectly under there. The arms fit under there. But the neat thing is, because the arms have so many adjustments, is that if I feel like I don't really want to have them in my way right now, let's say when you're sitting, like they're in too close, they push out. They actually come in and out to fit you and your needs. Then I can also just take them like this and push them to the side if I need to do that. And so over here, you can see that I can slide right up to the machine. Let me just scroll you in a little bit here. Yeah, so look at this. It works. I don't have any kind of obstruction. I'm really fine in all the ways. Okay, so this has been exciting. I really wanted to find a usable chair that's multi-purpose with both sewing, cross stitch, embroidery, reading. You can read with your tablet and keep your arms comfortable, and of course gaming at my computer. Oh yeah, some computer work too. Let's just throw in that. So this is the Anda chair. It's the Kaiser 4. If you are interested, go check out their website. So isn't that fun? I am just so excited about the chair. It is so comfy and it has such great ergonomics so that I can adjust it to exactly my body and where I want to sit and how I want to sit. So it is something, if you are looking for that, be sure you go out to Anda Seats, and the link is in the description box below and at my website today. And if you use Pat Sloan at checkout, you'll get $30 off. Plus, remember that they're running all these sales right now for their Black Friday. They've set some really, really fantastic sales. So go ahead and sign up for their emails, and you can be checking that out. Okay, here we go. What is it? What did I call this? Interesting things at the national parks. Ta-da! And tomorrow I'll have a little block parade for your blocks from the national park. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.